Well, kind of figured we'd be here. Cyberpunk's overhyped. Surprise! It's like, dear God. 8 million people pre-order this game. 8 million people use Cyberpunk's Project Red's, whatever the fuck their name is. Their own words. They trusted them. And I'm sure a lot of people are having a good experience, especially maybe on PC, maybe. But if you have the base consoles, PS4, Xbox One, 2013, the old shit box, you're kind of getting shit on. And here's, I was waiting for this. I was waiting for, get this cartoon out of the way. But it was waiting for the meta bomb to happen. But it's like, is it a really bomb if it's true? Because what I see, man, I haven't played it on a PS4 or whatever, but from what I'm seeing, it's like, dear God, this is like shit balls. And so, the latest CD Projekt scam is fucking assholes. And so many people was like, well, this was really a next-gen game. No, the fuck it wasn't. This was, this should have been no problem on PlayStation and Xbox. You had a combination of COVID, definitely COVID. You also had just the hype in general, and it's the need to meet that date to get it out by it, freaking winter season, fall season of 2020, because it's like supposed to be the swan song, the issue off, the base, the consoles. It's supposed to be the new gen thing for the new consoles. It, by the way, the actual new generation version of the game isn't out yet. I mean, I guess it's going to be March or something. Who knows? Who fucking knows at this point? They're going to have to delay it probably again. It's supposed to, be the hottest new thing for your brand new graphics cards, which, your 3080s and your 6800 XTs, which are like, or is it 900? I don't know which fuck version it is on the damn AMD side, but, AMD's come back with actually big, huge consoles. You're going to turn on your ray tracing, your new freaking $1,000, 6900 XT or whatever it is. Oh, well, you don't even get ray tracing on freaking on AMD. Oh, and by the way, it's supposed to be the first really big ray tracing game, and it's the most hyped game ever. It's built up over the years. It's the follow-up to Witcher. Gary has done this. Gary's glory has put the hype on the Cyberpunk, and so this is the most biggest freaking launch ever. I mean, honestly, think of it probably is. And it's underperforming. Say, well, here's the Xbox one. This is what the users think of the Xbox. 2.9. Over here, you've got, on the Metascore, there's no fucking reviews from the critics. Back here, there's one review that's done for PlayStation from a freaking company I ain't never heard of. They're giving it a 3 out of 10. So what about for PC, okay? So the reviewers were forced to play it on a PC. They weren't allowed to use their own damn footage. They had to use the official footage that Cyberpunk guys give it to them, much B-roll and trailer footage. And then they were not even allowed to really talk about or even look at what Xbox One and PS4 versions were like. And I'm like, this should set off all the red flags. And some people did mention that. Skill Up refused to, not use his own footage. But then there was other, I don't know what you call it, a freaking influencer. I don't know what Young Ye is. Young Ye is supposed to be on our side. He goes out and he gives it a big ass nice review for PC. He takes the hits. He wants the views, man. And he's had to he's got to come back and not realize he's got fucked over, man. With the console launch is a sham. It's a sham. And then he's had to dial it back, and you're actually using damn footage from the world-renowned video game troll Michael Does Life. you talking about, Michael? You're just a clown. Of the damn PS4 version, the 1.0, because that's what's on the disc. That's what they're being sold. It's like, well, you're gonna have all of these big ass patches, these freaking like 50 gig patches followed by 30 gig patches. What the fuck's on this disc? Fucking nothing. It's these huge ass patches to fix the game, because this was a game that's literally delayed after it went gold, which is bizarre, freaking bizarre. But now it's just here, we've seen it. All of the damn there were things on there that you could see. There were hints. For me personally, I think if you take Gary and the Polish kind of stuff out of The Witcher, if you took somehow the license out of The Witcher, what game you have is not, I mean, on Witcher 3, it's not very impressive to me. So Gary made that game. The freaking crazy Polish countryside made that damn game. And so I was always like, I don't know about this, Tim, because it was so hyped. It was so hyped. And then on the top of that, when The Witcher 3 did come out, and if I remember right, The Witcher 2 as well, it ate your computers up. I remember it eating your computers up. And my friend, he paid for this, pre-ordered it like, I don't know, a half a year ago or some shit. And then I'm like, this might eat our computer up, bro. And so I stayed away. And, but I noticed this. I noticed the latest train wreck, the latest disaster, the latest Anthem. And I'm sure that once you get all of the bugs out, at least the PC version, and to a point, well, no, the PS5 and the Series X versions, they're probably going to be good. Who knows whether they can make the Xbox One or the PS4 versions ever look worth the fuck, because the difference is it's like night and day, and the glitches and shit are just terrible. But what you got here is another damn thing where the critic score does not match the user score. Is this a freaking trend? Because this has been going on for years now. These critics are access journalists. They are told what they have to review, and they're given so many regulations and rules that they have, they're forced almost down a certain path. And it's like, oh, well, you want the game early, you need to get hits for your site. Then you better follow our rules, or we're not going to give you the early review copy. You'll have to play it with a user. You have the user experience, man. Wouldn't that be just terrible? And let me go. Let's see right here. The IGN 9 out of 10 for a buggy ass game. He says, this is Tom Marks, by the way, which I actually like Tom Marks pretty good bit. It's a shame that it's frustratingly frequent bugs and occasionally kill an otherwise well set mood. Shit, play the PlayStation version, see how well set your mood is. You fucking just gonna have that ire and frustration in your mouth. You're the ultimate warrior. You long for anger and frustration. They're kind of, they're not having a great experience with these games, because a lot of these games are buggy on these access reviews. They're sent alphas or betas or some shit. Here, review this beta and pretend like all of these problems aren't actually going to be in the real thing. And they kind of have to just kind of pull a score out of their ass. It's like, I think if I was having a good time, it would have been a 9 out of 10. And so, yeah, there you go. Enjoy your score, man. And we'll see you for Witcher 4. We're IGN. Please give us an early copy and exclusive access, please. Give us game developer interviews. And so they come out with a big, looks good. 9 out of 10. Oh, wait, it's a shit disaster. We better dial this back. And you're starting to see that on the websites now. They're running things back. They're like, oh, well, the stock is dipped 30%. And for CD Projekt Red, stock is dipped 30%. And it's like, oh, well, we're not going to base our bonuses for our developers over the reviews, because the reviews on PlayStation and Xbox, when they finally do come out, they're going to be shitballs, man. And so, it's never the gamer's fault. But this has happened a lot, guys. This has happened a whole lot, and it's, going out and getting your digital super deluxe uber duper pre-order edition of Anthem and paying like, some ungodly amount of money, some $200 or some shit. Where's Anthem when you're going to come with a real life robot to ride in? Or you're down, good God, Fallout 76, your power armor bullshit. Yeah, don't pre-order, man. The story, the lesson to be learned is always wait. These games are fucking digital. You could just sit there and like, oh, I guess I want that, and download it, and hopefully if your internet is super shit balls, you could just get it within 4 to 5 hours, even if it's a giant game, and you got it. So it's like, why do you need to pay them early? You need to 8 million fucking copies sold. That pays for everything. That pays for the marketing. It pays for the development over like 8 years. It pays for all of that shit like immediately. They've already made money before they put the game out. And so it's like, well, We got 8 million people with pre-order. They're going to start canceling these pre-orders if we don't just dump this shit right now. So let's just dump it out there and fuck it. Let's go. Fuck it. We'll fix it in post. I can just imagine George Lucas when he was doing freaking episode 1. Attack of the Clones. They're fucking doing that terrible acting. Oh, we'll just fix it with some CGI. It'll fix that acting right up. It's never your fault. And if the PS4 versions and the Xbox One was literally actually not going to be remotely similar to the PC version, that's okay. Then you should focus on them and make them as good as possible. You separate it. I play lots of retro games, and back in the day, the arcade version of Strider is different than the NES version of Strider. The NES version of Strider is a completely fucking different game. And, you know, it's probably better for being that, because it's just its own thing. And they could have done something similar to Xbox One and PS4 if it was really not something that they could just dial up on graphics or dial down on settings or whatever, and it just works. As Todd would say, scalability or whatever. If it was really not able to scale that shit down enough, then you make a damn explicit PS4 or Xbox version. And when you've had 8 years of development time, and you're not a small studio. People think CD Projekt Red is not a small studio. They, as far as money's concerned, they're bigger than Ubisoft. They're bringing in fucking huge money. But it is what it is. Is this going to get, you know, No Man's Sky legendary? We'll see. The PC users are better. Most of them are bitching about performance because, you know, it's like a GTX 1060 requirement or something like that, and it's just, yeah, it's not making that shit. I'm like, a damn 6 GB card should be able to damn run some shit in high settings on freaking 1080p. It shouldn't do 4K, it should do 1080p, no problem. It doesn't right now. I think that'll be fixed. These bugs and stuff are going to be fixed. But they wanted your money now, and so many people gave it to them. And the story is wait some of this shit out. You'll get the Game of the Year versions. You'll get the stuff where you're not having crazy glitches and shit. But, you know, fear of missing out. Got to be on the latest thing. It's these big games move too slow. And they're like big lumbering juggernauts. And so if they have a set date, it's really... Or even Cyberpunk's, you had, what, 4 or 5 dates they're over set. Once that's in motion, they just kind of have to go there. And that's why these disasters happen. And this isn't going to be Anthem or probably the Avengers where they just give the fuck up on it. This is going to be... Eventually, their vision of whatever they have is going to be on the screen for you to play. But it ain't there yet.